All right, so it turns out this was not a joke. I remember about 6 months ago, I was running my agency, and then, or maybe a year ago, and then you would get these videos on your YouTube feed, and it's like, it's like, stop an SMMA, start an AIAA instead. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And then you get this video. It's like, don't start an AIAA, start a SWS. And it's just so stupid. And it was right at the time where everyone's like, oh, if I just create some new acronym for my business model, then I can sell a course on it and get fucking rich. Look at this, LGA. I mean, all of these are bullshit, and actually, I take that back because the whole point of this video is, in fact, AIAI. I can't even say it. AIAA is not bullshit. It's actually legit. And I'm going to explain to you why I think this might be not like the new SMMA, but essentially one of the best business models you can get into. And it's not like a meme, it's not like a meme business at this point. So let's talk about that. Okay, so let's take an example where you have people right now, the way the world has worked for the last 20 years, essentially with like knowledge workers and, longer than 20 years, you have people doing jobs, okay? So you might have like 20 actual tasks or maybe 50 tasks that need doing. And every employee probably has, I don't know, 5, maybe 10, 15 tasks that they do on a day-to-day basis. And you basically just have people to do those tasks. And then if you need like an internal tool or some sort of system to help you do work, then you'll hire an agency. So if we just Google development agency, then we'll find a million different kind of options. And actually, this is kind of weird. These are all like very official. But there's going to be a lot of these agencies, especially if we went on like LinkedIn. We would find a lot of these options, and it's just people who help companies build internal tools so that they can get work done faster and kind of solve problems, okay? And there's kind of a lot of people that got laid off from FANG that have development skills, and look, I think, some of them become freelancers or agency owners, like this guy who got laid off, I'm guessing, or, just quit and wants to start an agency. So this is kind of how it's worked, and people will just build like softwares and internal tools. All right, I think I kind of beat the shit out of that point. So let's move on. In the future, as we see this is happening with Tesla Optimum. Dude, I'm so bad at typing. So we have Tesla Optimus. We also have Figure O, and now they're actually on to O2. And Brett Adcock, the founder of this company, has been putting out some interesting stuff about how the hardware is pretty much dialed, and now they're focusing on a lot of the software stuff at this point. And essentially, the whole point that they're addressing is like kind of workplaces like what do you call it? Fucking warehouses. I'm blind, dude. Basically, warehouses. You have super high turnover. Like the average churn is over 100%, meaning employees stay for less than 1 year. I think that's how the math works out. But either way, the average employee is there for like a few months, and they're just constantly churning over employees. That's expensive, and they lose money, and they can't keep employees. Training's hard. It's a whole problem. So that's why they're focusing on getting robots into these warehouses to do the job that no one else wants to. And maybe because of this recent dock strike, maybe we'll get some robots in there, Maybe they can quit quit complaining. So anyway, God, I'm such an asshole, dude. Anyways, so we have, let's say, like 1,000 employees, and they're doing like one job. It's like, pick this package and put it here, right? And Amazon has automated a shit ton of those types of jobs, but you still have people doing that type of job. And so essentially, the goal in the future would be to have, instead of like 1,000 people working in a warehouse, you end up with 50 people managing these robots. And you can imagine a robot like this, let's say it costed, I don't know what this should cost, $250,000, let's say. So if you spend $250,000 on this robot, then an employee might cost you $50,000 a year. So that robot's going to pay for itself in 5 years. Except when you think about an employee also needs insurance, you have to pay for insurance for that person. You also have to pay for like training and hiring, and all these different costs that are associated with employees. And that employee might only work 40 hours a week, whereas this robot can probably work 100, right? If the charges for 4 hours a day, I don't know the math on that, but it's close to 100 hours. Okay, I'm way off. It's 140 hours. But yeah, so let's say it works for 140 hours. Anyways, a robot is going to pay itself off over time, but it's an upfront investment, and companies aren't going to build their own robot. I mean, look at this thing, dude. This company has taken billions of dollars in funding, and it's not like you're just going to build your own robot just because you need to solve a problem. You're going to go to someone who's already built a badass robot, and you're just going to buy the robot. You're going to finance it or you're going to lease it, but you're not going to fucking build your own robot, all right? And that's just how it works. So, essentially, this is the model when we turn it to knowledge work. And knowledge work might be the first to go. I just think robots are kind of easier to like draw the analogy to, but knowledge workers might be the first one where this goes. And this is where AIAA, basically just a development agency, comes in. So instead of having because right now we're saying that like each kind of knowledge worker will have like 5 to 15 tasks that they'll do in a day, right? One of those tasks is maybe responding to email. Well, you can already build an agent that basically responds to emails for you. Like, it just looks at the email. It's like, do I need to take some action? Blah, blah, blah. Do I need to respond? How should I respond? What knowledge should I draw on? And you can have it take all these different actions the same way that a human could. And essentially, what you would do is instead of having one person do a bunch of jobs, you would build an agent to do each job. And you can imagine the same way that you'd sell a robot, where the robot is an upfront cost, but it's going to be more capital efficient over time. That is the exact same way that you're going to be selling and seeing these agents be distributed into the economy. Okay? And so it's not just robots. Dude, I wanted to work on robots for so long. I'm like, dude, robots are like a badass. I think every male, and I could be wrong, but maybe even every female thinks that robots are badass. And it's super hard. Robotics are fucked hard, especially, it's kind of cost prohibitive. But if you're thinking about something like AI agents, you can build an AI agent just sitting in your chair for free, and it's super cool to think about it like this. And yeah, I think this is going to be the future. I think that the big consulting companies, you're going to kind of see a rise of smaller kind of solopreneurs or solo agency owners or smaller agencies where they're just building these specialized agents. And yeah, it's essentially a robot. And this is probably going to define the future of the economy. Agents for the software world and then robots for the physical world. I don't know. I just came up with this on a walk, and I was like, that is badass. The point of this video, I already said the point, but if you want any development services, if you need an agent built for your business, clearly I know what the fuck I'm talking about. But at any rate, we can have a chat, and I can tell you what I think about how the best way to solve your problem would be. So go ahead and click on the link in the description below to get in touch with me. And yeah. Anyways, if you're not someone with money and you're not trying to hire me, just let me know what you think of this.